It's just business, nothing personal. A look at the different forms of business organizations and the pros and cons to owning each one. Today we're going to be looking at the different basic types of business, which are sole proprietorships, partnerships, corporations, limited liability companies, which are LLCs, and cooperatives. Now we're going to look at sole proprietorship. A sole proprietorship is a business that is owned by one person. This person is usually responsible for the business in every aspect, which includes the handling of the money, producing the product or service, and the hiring and management of employees. Next, we'll look at business partnerships. This is when a business is owned by two or more people. Both owners of the business contribute money, time, and other resources to the business. Profits are divided amongst these owners. Next is a corporation, which is a business organization that is legally separated from the owners. Ownership in corporations are usually represented and available through shares of stock. A limited liability company is like a hybrid of a corporation and a partnership. The owners share control of their business amongst each other as in a partnership, but are limited in their liabilities as in a corporation. Next is a cooperative. These are businesses that are owned by groups of people called members. The business relies on the members for funding, and the members rely on the business for different benefits. Cooperatives can be either incorporated or unincorporated. Some example of sole proprietorship businesses are a local art studio, a grocery store in your town, your friend's hair salon. IKEA is a famous sole proprietorship business. Public supermarkets, your favorite mom and pop restaurant are also examples of sole proprietorship business. Some famous and or well-known businesses that are formed by partnerships are Google, Hewlett Packard, Ben and Jerry's, Microsoft, Twitter, Apple, and Procter and Gamble. Some well-known examples of corporations include Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, which are government-sponsored corporations, 7-Eleven, General Motors, Adidas, Burger King, Cigna, Coca-Cola, and Walmart. LLC companies you may have heard of include BlackBerry, Pepsi, Sony, Nike, eBay, and IBM. Most time cooperatives are identified because they have members. The different types of co-ops include most credit unions, Land O'Lakes, Sunkist Growers, Welch's, Whole Food, and many local power or utility companies. Now we'll look at a couple of pros and cons of each type of business. For sole proprietorships, they have easy startup, pride of ownership. The owner gets to keep all of their profits, and the profits are taxed as personal income. Some cons include the fact that they are legally responsible for all debts. If there is a failure, the business has to close and the owner has to deal with the loss alone. And sometimes business owners lack management skills. This becomes a challenge when they start hiring. Now we'll look at pros and cons of partnerships, which include easy startup. Most time partnerships are formed by common interests. Therefore, the pursuit of success, all partners take part in making sure the business has what it needs to thrive. Some cons include disagreements, which are a big reason some partnerships go bad, and the fact that they, like sole proprietorships, are responsible for debts of the business. Some pros and cons for corporations include the fact that the pros are the corporation is a separate entity from its owners. Corporations can sell shares of their stock to raise money for their business. Some cons include that most times an attorney has to be involved in the establishment of a corporation, so the startup is not as easy as that of a sole proprietorship or partnership. And there is more paperwork and more government regulations to follow, so there is usually an attorney to help sort through all of that. Pros and cons of limited liability companies include a LLC is legally separated from the owners, therefore, they are not liable for debts and other financial obligations. Some cons is it is more expensive to operate an LLC and it is more difficult to cash checks made out to LLCs. Some pros and cons of cooperatives include pros that they are beneficial to the members by the services they provide. Members are able to take advantage of the offerings. They are democratic, meaning members vote and get to be a part of important decisions made on behalf of the business. Cons include due to allowing members to vote, decision making processes are often slower, and big investors are more reluctant. My main point in my presentation today was to do what's right for you. One of the primary goals to owning a business is to make a profit. In this presentation, we have gone over the different types of businesses as well as the pros and cons of each. Examples of each type of businesses was also provided for a reason. In the beginning, they were just an idea too. If it is your desire to own a business, choose which type is right for you and work diligently so that one day your business can be listed as an example of a great success.